Welcome to the Prime People Podcast. I am your host, Justin Konikow, and it absolutely blew my mind to watch the recap last week with some of the amazing guests that we had in 2023, from UFC star Mark Hominick to Ryan Serhant, Chelsea Pites, Tom Story, Glenda Baker, Zach Faust, Rob James, Brian Casella, amongst many, many others. And it really made me think about what the future of this podcast was going to be. I'm nobody special. I'm just a real estate agent out of Southwestern Ontario, Canada, that happens to own a brokerage with my wife. I love media. I've always loved content, and I've shot these podcasts since late 2015, 2016, and nobody watched them in the very, very beginning. And I kind of just did them because I'm naturally curious, and these were conversations I was going to have with people that I respect anyways. So I turned on the camera and I started posting them online. Early on in the Prime People podcast, it was a scattergun. You would have all kinds of people from all walks of life, and there wasn't really any focus to the conversation. I was just naturally curious about how they would start in their business, how they were growing, and what was working for them. And I would just allow you to listen in and see if you can implement some things in your own business. Now, when I look at the statistics and I see that we are in fact global, there are thousands of downloads per month and there are thousands of listeners, I feel like I owe it to you all to put a lot more effort into what 2024 looks like. And if you listened to the episode previously about what's in store for 2024, you know that we have some very fun concepts coming to the Prime People podcast. First, the most exciting one that we have 6 episodes in the chamber that we are going to drop are the Estates Entrepreneurs Espresso episodes. Think comedians in cars drinking coffee, but with really nice houses and really cool entrepreneurs. It's been one of the most fun things that we've been shooting. We've been bringing our creative director to different cities, showcasing amazing properties with some agents, with some entrepreneurs, and there is so much more to come. If you saw the list of guests that I have in 2024, your mind would be blown. I don't even know how I got to know these people, but I'm very, very excited to showcase to you some of the most incredible relationships that I've been able to build online and in person over the years. So more than anything, what I wanted to do in today's episode was give you that insight. Now, the one thing I've done a terrible job on, if you're listening to this podcast, is asking you to like, share, or review it. So today, I'm just going to ask you to review it. Just go to whatever podcasting platform you're listening to and leave me a review as to what this podcast has meant and done for you, or give me feedback. I would love to hear what you want more of. I really want this podcast to be the Prime People podcast that is generated by interest from you, the Prime Nation, and going out and sourcing the very best people that you want to learn from. The one fun thing about my past is I've kind of always been the guy that knows everybody by proxy, and I can usually get to somebody. So throw me some names that you think are bucket shot lists or moonshots that you don't even think are accessible, and I will look to get them on the podcast, not for the celebrity status. I want the actual practitioners, right? As some of the names I mentioned have global success, millions of followers. Every single person that I've had on the Prime People podcast whose episode is still up is in fact a practitioner. And I value this audience so much that I've actually taken down episodes in the past with people that I found out by proxy were not all they made themselves out to be. So I'm not perfect, nor do I claim to be, but I am somebody that is always going to try and get better and provide the very best product that I can. Now, for the Entrepreneurs, Estates, and Espressos show, we were talking about launching a completely separate channel. We're not going to do that because I'm all about ease of access. We're going to keep it on this channel. You're going to hear some more one-on-ones with me talking about my thoughts in the marketplace and things that I'm learning. You're going to see me interviewing people virtually because that is something that is going to happen in the future in today's day and age. But I am gearing towards trying to get 80% plus of my episodes in person. So either a triple E episode or going to their location. Really, really excited to showcase some of the people that I've met that have impacted my life in a massive way in 2023 and before that, and introduce them to you in 2024. So again, I want to thank you for being a subscriber. I want to thank you for listening. If there's anybody that you think would get any value from leadership, entrepreneurship, and business, this is the place for them. Share this episode with them, hit that subscribe button, and let me know what I can do to serve you. Now, I want to share one thought I was having with you before we end today's episode, and that was geared around the article that I wrote on LinkedIn called Kill the Celebrity Real Estate Agent. Now, I've since renamed it, and it was the death of the influencer age. I feel that killed the celebrity real estate agent. Maybe a little bit too aggressive, although you need aggressive titles to get people to click. But the feedback that I got from that article was absolutely mind-blowing. The amount of DMs, private messages, and people that reached out to me to either write op-ed pieces on their platforms or maybe just expand on the discussion through podcasts or videos really made me sense that there was a need for this conversation. Now, I'll give you a 30,000 foot view. The link is in the description below. So if you'd like to go see it, you go check it out there, or just look me up on LinkedIn. That's where the article actually resides. And it talked around how in my industry these days, or in real estate as a whole, it seems to be that new agents getting to the industry are more concerned with achieving influence very, very quickly, which means followers, subscribers, and launching podcasts, than they do about getting good at the actual craft. And I think there needs to be a return to the craftsmanship in our business, because I feel like we've lost the trust of the consumer. They see selling sunset. They see this image of these agents making all this money and acting like celebrities. And the heart of the article wasn't that you can't want those things in tandem with your skill set and your growth. But quite often, the people who become the most influential in real estate aren't necessarily influencers. And many influencers that you may see out there that have thousands of followers have no influence and no business that's actually coming from it. The vanity metric chasing needs to stop. I think we have gone through an age where people were chasing the influence and they were chasing the vanity metrics, because they do confuse and they do trick some people, but the consumers are getting smarter out there. The consumers can tell early on if you bought followers because you had no comments, no engagements, and no views. Now the trend has gone the other way completely, where people are literally using computers and AI to generate comments and views on videos to trick you to thinking that their platform is authentic. So in people chasing influence and authenticity, they've actually leveled out the entire playing field, where now people are actually reaching for more niche audiences and scrapping huge followings that isn't generating actual phone calls. One highlight I really wanted to make with that article was online marketing really works. We get a lot of business from Instagram, from YouTube, from TikTok, from all of the online things that we do. Like, people would look at me as a celebrity agent, although I tell them I'm not a life coach, not interested in it. I'm not selling any courses. I'm not what you think I am. I'm actually a really good real estate agent. I'm really good at pricing, really good at marketing, really good at negotiating. I just document all the things that I talk about so that it generates business for me in the real estate space. And I'm also working out ideas online, similar to the article that I wrote. I was writing this article as much for me as I was for anybody else. I don't want to get caught in the trap of becoming something that is not tracking to my goals and ambitions. I don't want to be famous. I don't necessarily want the things that other people want. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just very clear on where my goals and ambitions are. And by writing that article, I was simply putting my thoughts on paper that I think that the public and the consumers and the industry in general needs to go back to really respecting and appreciating the craftsmanship of this business and putting a lot of work into that. And I think by proxy, the consumers will think much more highly of us and treat us like the professionals that we are supposed to be. So if you want to read that article, I would love to hear your feedback on it, whether you agree, disagree, jump in the comments. Let me know here. Thanks for being here for another episode of the Prime People Podcast. I will catch you next week.